All right, what's going on, everybody? G here, back again with another video. We'll see how this turns out, if it's worth anything. Today, I'm at Addison Oaks, probably my favorite trail around. Doing some practice for a race here in a couple weeks called the Addison Oaks XC Classic. It's an old race. Brought back last year. Just doing a kind of a warm-up lap here. This section's not part of the race, but it's the first part of the trail. And it's all climbing, and it's hard. Just put a 34 tooth chain ring on. You can tell I'm breathing hard. Did a test ride out at a trail near my house after I put it on. Seemed to work out okay. Not as much climbing as this trail. So we'll see how today goes. My lungs have been a little fried at the start of rides lately. I don't know if it's the air quality or what, but it's been having a rough time. So this is the start of the race. Well, where you first come into the trail. So I already got a warm-up ride in, kind of. It wasn't enough of a warm-up ride. It was more like, hey, get ready for a warm-up ride. Just 2 miles, a little bit of climbing, and some stretching. I jumped in the wrong spot there. It's obviously better to not jump that. But right now, this is my fun lap. Back there, it seems like it's better to go inside, but taking the outside sets you up for the inside a lot better. And yeah, it's still shifting kind of funny. Thought I got that sorted out, but it's still a little slow on the downshift. Or, well, sorry, down the cassette shift, but upshifting in gears. I gotta get my gear set up here and how I ride Addison. See how that works out with the new gearing here. But my strategy for here is I'm not going to be in my highest gear unless it's like a few choice spots, just because I feel like I'm gonna tire my legs out more than the advantage I'm gonna get from it. So I get all the way down my cassette, shift up once. That's my bottom gear, which I think is 13T. Doesn't wear my legs out as fast as being all the way in the 11th gear. And with how much you have to kind of shift sometimes in this trail, works fine. And then just 2 up from there, maybe 3 up on a couple choice climbs. Should be more than enough. range for this trail. I feel the difference with 34. It was a 32 before. And my hardtail's a 36. Well, I'm not quite used to that either. My fat bike I rode all last year was a 34. So I should be used to a 34. This is my third shift. Which it's a long climb and it wears me out. There, I didn't start it. Either way, started now. Now, in my opinion, the faster line is take the left, transition to the right. But I have beaten people by coming in just behind them, taking the right, pushing hard enough so they got to stay on the left in the crossover, or slow down to get behind me. I know I'm standing up a lot, but that's to get my legs used to it. I want to be able to output that power, keep it going, sit back down at a higher cadence. Oftentimes, I find myself slowing down after standing up on a climb. But to that, just 2 clicks, you can keep your RPMs up, and then 2 more clicks back down. Don't see too many hikers out here. You do, sometimes, but I don't see them often in this section. I see them mostly on the inside of the paved section part of the trail. That's kind of where the campground is. So, but I refer to Addison Oaks as outside and inside of the paved trail. Now those who know the trail might refer to it as something else. I gotta be faster through these rock gardens. But this is a spot I know I can start pushing. There's no more rock gardens. It's a little climb. And it's kind of mostly downhill from here. A little slow on my cornering right now. Gotta be careful on that. Right there. Definitely tell the difference between the 34 and 32. I feel like I'm too far down the cassette, but I know I'm where I want to be. Legs just aren't used to it. Bike fits a little off, but I think that's just because I need different bars and longer stem. Not by much. I think this is a 35. I'm going to put a 40 on, and then some carbon handlebars. A little bit of a back sweep. That's definitely too hard of a gear for that section. But again, because of the bigger chainring. Last couple times I was out here doing this, I had a smaller chainring. So now it's time to practice with the new chainring. That way I'm used to it, ready for the race. The other thing is that I'm trying to get used to these tires, which I think I mentioned. Not quite cross-country race tires, kind of trail tires. Well, like light trail tires, heavy cross-country. or down country as they used to call it. Where a little slow in the adjusting there, but really I just need to adjust the rear, not the front. Set the front where I want it and just leave it. But yeah, I thought about, not way too much now, getting some different tires for the race, but by the time I get here, I'm only going to have a little bit of time with them. It can take at least a week, and next week I have the most time to ride, so might as well run these and be used to them. Don't really need suspension for this trail. You don't even need a suspension fork, really. I've ridden and raced it on a BMX and on a fat bike, so I know people who ride this rigid. Perfectly fine. I've even done a lap with everything locked out. It was bumpy, but it was fine. It's definitely a little higher up cassette than I wanted, but it was first lap. Nice. This spot is a fast and tight spot. Drop her down and kind of hang on the seat. You can make it really fast if you know what you're doing. Sprint down this. Right, coast through here. Good spot to make up some time and catch your breath. We're gonna go wide right here, come in deep. That side of the route. This you gotta go tight because of this tree here that's slightly in the way. Before I got a 29-inch, I really didn't like this section a whole lot. Mostly because of the climb out of here, which is understandable. Headline there. It's understandable on my BMX, but it was kind of brutal on my fat bike too. It's just kind of long and gets real punchy at the end. Totally hit that tree, bad line. Oh, this used to be my favorite spot on my BMX. Not this spot too much, but messing with my hydration pack hose here. Not paying attention to what I'm doing. I still have my back locked out. Front, it's going. It's not so bad through here. There's a spot up here that I am going to unlock it because it's pretty bumpy and I don't feel scared. Although even with it locked out, it's not as hold on for your life as it was on my BM. Some bad lines through here right now. More since I'm talking to you guys. Could be. headset's loose. Felt a little loose there. Getting better at judging when to pedal and what gear to be in on that. You're coming in so fast at the first turn, you have enough momentum, you can just coast up it. It's going to slow you right down. So you gotta be ready to crank it. Hikers. Thank you. I'm locked my suspension just for this section. It's a rough spot of the entire trail. I often like to take a drink there because wrong with that. Due to the wall here, it's not a good section for it. You're like almost to the end. My second lap, I think I'm gonna, instead of standing up the hills, I'm just gonna try to find the right gear to grind them out in. Keep my cadence up, but not get out of the saddle. I think I slow down a little too much right there. I'm kind of out of the saddle there, but not by a lot. This time, grinding out hills and leaving my rear locked. Other than a couple sections where it helps a little bit to have it locked. At least in my opinion. But again, you can ride this trail on a region, no problem. Some of those days where your gut just isn't having it. You know, where you feel weak in the stomach. You know, you've eaten all right today. I always started to turn too late there. About 2 minutes off my PR time around the trail. I know this is a section where I can hammer it mostly all the way through. Past the bridge, you can push pretty hard through here. It's pretty flat, not too bumpy. A couple rock gardens that slow me down, but I just gotta get better at them. That was a bad line through that one. That was a better line. So many squirrels running around. Careful. Paddle through some of these tight corners. I gotta figure out how to go through that corner faster. But, you know, good times. Figure out why it doesn't want to shift right. I need those gears. I don't know why I whisper either. I know I'm talking to myself, so used to talk to myself so low. I forget to do it loud for the camera. I will say though, if you have a Polygon D7, you do a lot of cross country, put a 34 on it. It just made it that much better, honestly, for cross country. If you're doing more trail, downhill, bike park kind of stuff, 32 is probably fine because you got a lot more climbing to do. Stuff like this, awesome. I think your dog's supposed to be on a leash. Seems like a rude thing to say, but it's true. Kind of took me out of the zone. This part always seems to zap energy from me. I'm not exactly sure why. I gotta shift sooner. Yeah, this thing, it's like my fat bike. Loaded 34 on it and just came alive. Whew. A couple fast lines through there. Lines I normally don't take. Still not a fan of this section either. Just gotta be that limestone sucking all the energy out. Now I could probably pedal through all that. I'm using it as a breather. Sorry I'm not talking as much on this route, this one, but I'm kind of zoned in. Going through there without rear suspension wasn't so bad. It stops you. I think this tire pressure is great. 20 in the rear, somewhere between 18 to push through. I feel my legs wanting to cramp. I'm feeling tired and no energy at all. Thank you. Thanks for riding with me. My Addison Oaks cross-country classic practice ride. I did 2 laps today, but that's all right. See you next time.